Ben Shapiro is a metaphor for everything fucked up in the Republican Party. And he's either an idiot or simply insincere or both.
Look away, Dixieland.
He's trying to convince us that MAGA isn't a racist, anti-Semitic cog intent on establishing a white America, but instead it's a wholesome body with just a few tumors.
White supremacy, that's the problem. This is a hoax. Just like the Russia hoax. It's a conspiracy theory used to divide the country.
And white people are done being bullied.
Discriminating against and denigrating, just denigrating white people.
This country's been racist for a long time. I did talk radio for 30 years and I heard it all.
This is fucking America. Whatever happened to America, huh?
When I was in Baltimore, my boss used to call Baltimore N-Town. And he said to me once, the media is run by Jews. I said, dude, really? You're my boss. You're about as Jewish as Joseph Goebbels. He was MAGA before MAGA. But even when I was in San Francisco, my boss once told me I had too many black listeners. It's insane. But of course, hate is a tool. It's all about fear. Orwell's Big Brother created an enemy that didn't exist, like Trump has done with immigrants. But anti-Semitism, it's at the core of MAGA. You saw it live and in your face back in 2017 in Charlottesville.
Jews will not replace us.
Very fine people on both sides.
Hail our people, hail victory.
And now this guy, talk show host Ben Shapiro, is trying to say that MAGA isn't a hateful anti-Semitic organization, which would be true if it wasn't true. Shapiro's Jewish, and he's surrounded by people who are the worst of the worst, who say the word Jew like an invective, like it's a disease. But Shapiro can't see the boat he's on is sinking, and the lifeboats all say whites and Gentiles only.
Is, I think, the most important thing happening in the country. It was a hot topic last week, but I wanted to take some time to really gather my thoughts and speak on it in coherent fashion, holistic fashion. That topic is the fragmentation of the political right. That fragmentation is being caused purposefully by a splinter faction of people led by a young man named Nick Fuentes. They call themselves the Groypers. They are white supremacists. They hate women, Jews, Hindus, many types of Christians, brown people of a wide variety of backgrounds, blacks, America's foreign policy, and America's Constitution. They admire Hitler and Stalin. And that splinter faction is now being facilitated and normalized within the mainstream Republican Party. The main agent in that normalization is Tucker Carlson, who is an intellectual coward, a dishonest interlocutor, and a terrible friend. And Tucker Carlson last week was aided, abetted, celebrated for normalizing Nazism within the Republican Party by the mainstay organization of the traditional right, the Heritage Foundation. Now, before we explain what's been happening, let's make one thing clear. This is not about free speech or cancellation. It was never about free speech or cancellation. I believe that Nick Fuentes is odious and despicable, but I've never called for his cancellation. And in fact, I've called for his restoration to those services, despite the fact that I think he's odious and despicable.
But while Ben Shapiro is right about Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes, they aren't outliers. They are the bedrock of MAGA. Look, if MAGA teaches anything, it's to hate.
Tucker Carlson was on the other night. He said, in his opinion, there's no such thing as hate speech in America. How do you stand on that?
I believe in hate speech. When you have hate for somebody, I am 100% into speech.
So how does MAGA reconcile this hate? They do as they always do. They lie. Well, not all of them. This is Nick Fuentes a couple years ago.
There is an occult element at the high levels of society, and specifically among the Jews.
He's an anti-Semite who has been banned from most social media platforms, but still has millions of people who listen to this bullshit. Here's his latest.
We're going to take all these Shapiros, the Weinsteins, the Epsteins, and we're going to take the Zorans, the Hassans, and the Ilhans. We're going to get them all together. We're going to put them on a ship, and we're going to send them back to the fucking Middle East. Send them back to the desert. You can have them. Okay? Let's build the fleet. Let's build the ark. Let's build a rocket ship or a spaceship. Let's get all the towel heads on one side. We'll get all the tiny hats on the other. We're going to put them on a big luxury cruise ship or a giant Boeing 737 MAX, and we can send them all right back to the Middle East. And we'll be all day long. They'll be going to Iraq, they'll be going to Israel, they'll be going to Turkey, they can all go back. Let's just bring them all back. You know, if you got funny headgear, get the fuck out. Towel, tiny hat, dot, turban. Can't do it. No more magic carpet rides, no more dreidels. This is fucking America. Whatever happened to America, huh? Reason that we talk about this, by the way, I know a lot of black people see this and they go, man, why are you always talking about black people, this and that? Because There just needs to be some shame here. Well, there's a few reasons. First, white people are every single bit justified in being racist.
Now, since Trump came on the scene, there's been this saying, not everyone who supports Trump is a racist, but every racist is a Trump supporter. Let's examine that. Knowing who Trump is and what he has said, how could a supporter ignore man-titties and the people like Fuentes who had dinner with Trump at Mar-a-Lago? How could they see and hear this and not be racist? Because that shit is a lie. Trump rallies are dominated by both Dixie flags and swastikas. How can you say then you're not a racist or an anti-Semite?
Are these blacks trying to go rob her? Happening all the time in urban America. Prowling blacks go around for fun to go target white people. That's a fact.
How can people not see this? Everyone who supports Trump is a racist, and inside their dark little hearts, an anti-Semite as well. Now, Shapiro wants desperately to sanitize MAGA because he's in it so deep. I mean, it's like the Catholic Church pretending it was just a few priests diddling little boys. They close their eyes and pass a collection plate.
A lot of women want to be raped. And when I say raped, I mean like, that sounds bad when I say it like that. But there's like a lot of women that really want a guy to beat the shit out of them.
But Shapiro thinks that MAGA could be the old Republican Party with just a couple bad apples.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
Just a couple of weeks ago, a Republican from the Midwest was discovered to have a swastika on a U.S. flag in his office. It was posted by young Republicans.
Congressman Taylor is investigating this. He's released a statement. I'm just going to quote the congressman now. I am aware of an image that appears to depict a vile and deeply inappropriate symbol near an employee in my office. The content of that image does not reflect the values or standards of this office.
So what did J.D. Vance say?
The reality is that kids do stupid things, especially young boys. They tell edgy, offensive jokes like that's what kids do.
Now, of course, Vance is an asshole who should know better because Fuentes actually attacked Vance's wife, who's Indian.
J.D. Vance also has a non-white wife, an Indian wife, and a kid named Vivek. All his kids have Indian names. So it's like, what exactly are we getting here? And that's not a dig at him just because I'm a racist or something. But it's like, who is this guy really? Do we really expect that the guy who has an Indian wife and named their kid Vivek is going to support white identity? Like, there's a white genocide going on in the world.
Now, of course, Vance said nothing because MAGA needs the support of the millions of people following both Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. You see, the underbelly of MAGA is a dark and growing cancer, fueled by ignorance and hate. And I simply don't get how Shapiro is either blind to it or lost as to where to go should he come to terms with what his party has become. The truth is, Shapiro is Charlie Kirk 1.0, and that holds stark consequences for any Jew who believes that this Republican Party will look out for him. Because the MAGA train is also a metaphor for trains that ran in Europe 80 years ago, and we know where they were headed.
Goddamn right.
I think the president is definitely f***ing Satan.
I kept my underwear on.
I'm very excited about that.
You're a nasty person.
Go fuck yourself.
They know how to get to me. A witch hunt.
Suck my fat one.
They had what?
Who you talking to?
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
So this is the guy that peddles in garbage.
I'm Chip Franklin.